Death toll rise in a place that the world would love us to forget about. I say the world is pretty united. If you look at any UN resolution, if you watch any news channel that is not in English, if you look at Africa, Asia, South America, you will see that our government is incredibly out of whack with the general opinion on what is happening in Gaza. The way that I would centre this to avoid having the trap of being desensitised would be, we've all experienced grief. If you think about losing one person and you think about the impact that has on you, I've lost friends, I've lost family members, I never stop thinking about them. A song will come on, you'll pass a certain place and you'll remember them, and it will hurt the same way that it did the day that you found out you would never speak to that person again. Grief is one of the biggest burdens, the biggest unavoidable burdens of being alive. 3,195 children have died in Gaza at the last count. 3,195. To put that in context, Free Palestine indeed, my friend. 3,195. That is more than that have died in every other global conflict since 2019. That is, in comparison to those who died in the West Bank, it's 39. 39 children dead in a conflict is an unbelievable tragedy that should force the world to stop immediately. 29 children have died in Israel. 3,195 and counting in Gaza. Now, sometimes you can feel powerless. I sometimes do as well. But what I will tell you is what Palestinians have been telling me. I was lucky enough to be able to visit the West Bank when I was younger, to see the occupation myself. I am lucky enough to call Palestinians among my friends, to have them instruct me on what the best thing to do is right now. And every time I send them a photo of a protest in Liverpool and Glasgow and Manchester and Bristol, they are energised and they feel that the world is not ignoring them. 75% of people in Britain and America minimum support a ceasefire. About 100 and something to about 16 countries in the UN voted for a ceasefire and allow humanitarian aid. The world is not on the side of the people who want this to carry on. But we live not in a democracy. We live in a dictatorship of capital. We live in a country where every single decision is made by people who would rather we weren't really involved. So every 4 years we get to go and cast a ballot for an arsehole in red and an arsehole in blue, and that is meant to pacify us. Now that's not to say that you shouldn't vote. There is something to be said for getting the lesser of two evils in, although Keir Starmer is making that fucking harder every fucking day to justify anything. But I get saying, you know, any ex-government is better than Tories or Republicans, right? That's fine. I understand and I don't necessarily think you're wrong, but that is a trick that is pulled on us to shut us up for the other 3 years and fucking 11 months where we're not voting. And that is the thing that we have to avoid. I don't know if anyone is familiar with the history of workers' rights, of women's rights, of queer rights, of people of colour's rights, but it wasn't fucking governments that granted them. It was people refusing to comply. And if we refuse to buy this, if we take to the streets every day that is demanded, if we do not stop posting I fucking hate social media. See, if I could throw my phone into the fucking river, I would tomorrow. I hate it, I hate being on it, I hate having to look at my own face. If you ever want to develop insecurity, if you ever want to hate the way you look, start a social media profile. You will achieve that aim in 3 seconds. I wish that we could just pack that in, but right now, if you can't do anything else, like and share and post about Palestine, because it's making a difference. There is a reason why 75% of people want a ceasefire. I have been a Palestine solidarity advocate for a while. This is fucking wild. It is wild the way that the tone is shifted and the way that people are speaking. And it is also wild that no one in the Labour Party wants to listen at the top. that should maybe make you reevaluate the support that you give them. Maybe look out for some weird fringe candidate, some weird socialist party, some green party, some communist, I don't know. Somebody who's nice in the community and maybe help them get their deposit back this year. Maybe Keir Starmer could go fuck himself if they want to rely on cities like Glasgow and Liverpool to get elected. But I want you to leave here energised. I want you to leave here and believe that we can stop this, because we can. Because we have examples in the past of situations that, while not exactly the same, were very comparable. Right across the water, there is a country that we were told was full of terrorists, full of people that want to destroy our way of life. They can't be told, they can't govern themselves. We need to build walls, we need to stop them, because if we let them do what they want, God knows what will happen. And now, a united Ireland is years away. And more importantly, the violence stopped. We have South Africa to look at, where people who were framed as terrorists are now thought of as the greatest statesmen of their time, as their entire legacy is whitewashed. Same things that are being said about Palestinians were said about South Africans, were said about people in Ireland, were said about people in India, were said about people in Kenya. You can name any country that fought to free. And some terrible things will have happened there, and it doesn't mean that you should endorse that or be happy about that. Any loss of civilian life is tragic. But the way to stop civilian life being lost is to negotiate for a better state where everyone has equal rights. And you can see living proof that, while not perfect countries, South Africa and Ireland are no longer apartheid states where one person's colour of their skin, religion, or whatever you want to call it means that they've got a better legal status than the other. It doesn't solve every problem, but there's some things that we should all agree on regardless of your political constitution, and that two of them should be apartheid and genocide. And it is fucking wild to even have to say that in 2023, but we do need to keep saying it, and we all need to keep saying it. I seen someone post something that said, I'm just one person who said 7 billion people. So we all have a chance to make a serious difference. Anyway, this is called OK Now. I hope you like it. Listening, going down there, record time as the numbers come at you, like the bombs you'll never see when they're firing off the way they make believe. But are you okay now? Are you okay now? Are you okay? Are you okay now? Are you okay now? Are you okay now? Are you okay? Are you okay now? It is distraction, and your inaction as the only aim. Pander to your fears based on fuck all, candle slanted standing up against the wall. You can get everything you wanted, but they'll never give you what you need. If you can buy it, you can sell it. Tell me, is it ever really free? Every hour, every day, the same but in a different way. Golden walls obstruct the view, shadows hanging over you. If you listen closely, you will hear that everyone said to rouse the patriot in you, as is meaningless as as untrue. But are you okay now? Are you okay now? Are you okay? Are you okay now? Are you okay now? Are you okay now? Are you okay? Are you okay now? You can get everything you wanted, but they'll never give you what you need. If you can buy, if you can sell it, tell me, has it ever really free? Every day, the same but in a different way. Golden walls obstruct the view, shadows hanging over you. Thanks so much. Cheers.